Now that my youngest is a full-fledged toddler, I have been selling all of his baby stuff like crazy. And as I've been selling everything, I've been keeping track of my absolute favorite Holy Grail baby items, and that is what I am sharing today. But before we get into it, I have to shamelessly plug my channel. Please like and subscribe if you have not already, and if you are a current subscriber, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys. If you want to start an Amazon baby registry and follow along, I have links in the description below to do that quickly. Number one is the Boone drying rack with flower and tree accessories. This may not look like a must-have initially, but trust me, it is. It's a completely genius product. It's a super hygienic way to air dry bottles, bottle accessories, pump parts, wine glasses. I mean, anything delicate or small, this is the perfect drying rack to do it. The little tree and flower is perfect to hang pump parts or nipples for bottles. The grass itself holds lots of bottles and sippy cups for you to air dry. And after extensive use, you will need to clean the drying rack, which you probably will use it extensively if you're like me, and they make it super easy to clean. You can just take the two pieces apart, stick it in your dishwasher, and then it's like new again. I absolutely love this product. I definitely would have lost a lot of pump parts and bottle parts throughout the years without it, and that is why it is one of my holy grails. My next holy grail item is for mamas who may be a little bit more anxiety prone like myself. I actually didn't have this with my first two babies, but having it for my third, I realized how immensely helpful it was, and now it is a holy grail item for me, and that is the Owlet sleep sock. Now, I realize that it is not cheap, so I struggle to label it as a must-have, but as I said before, if you're more prone to anxiety like I am, this could be a lifesaver for you. I suffer from postpartum anxiety in the newborn stage. My mind goes crazy. I don't know how to explain it. It could just be hormones. I don't know. But I keep myself up at night because I'm constantly worried about worst case scenario for everything with my newborns. So my husband actually ended up getting us this Owlet sleep sock in hopes that it would help me, and it actually really did help me. It's this little sock that you put on your newborn's foot, and it tracks their heart rate and their breathing and oxygen levels. So I could sleep soundly at night knowing that if an emergency situation were to arise, the Owlet sleep sock would let me know and set off the little Owlet alarm. I know it's super expensive, so if you're not an anxiety-riddled person like me, maybe you don't need it on your baby registry, but just know that if you do end up suffering from postpartum anxiety, there are things like the Owlet sleep sock and other brands as well that can maybe just help you sleep a little bit better at night, because it is very important to try to sleep when the baby sleeps. Next holy grail item is the Nosefrida. If you don't know what this is, I'm about to freak you out, but trust me, you're going to be using it someday. It is this little contraption that you stick into your baby's nose if they get a cold or a stuffy at all, and you literally suck the snot out of their nose. Now, there's a little hygienic filter. You don't actually get any snot into your mouth, so don't worry about that. It's not that gross, but it is kind of gross when you really think about it. But I mean, when you're a mom, your babies will throw up on you, smear food on you, get all snotty, drool everywhere, and no matter what, you will think they are an adorable little cherub. So you will suck that snot out of their nose and you will like it because it's making them happy and healthy. My next holy grail item is a pack and play. With my third child, I ended up just letting him sleep in his pack and play bassinet from day one. And as soon as he graduated out of the bassinet stage, he just slept in the pack and play. A pack and play is a portable crib. You can buy a little pack and play mattress for it to make it more comfortable, but with my twins, we started off with regular wooden cribs, and it was a nightmare for us. My twins were very active sleepers. They'd roll all over the place, kick their legs, and our wooden cribs, you know, wood isn't soft, it's hard. So when they're rolling around and running into the crib walls, it is hard and it makes a loud noise, and it would always wake one of them up, and then one of them's crying, and then they wake up their brother and their brother's crying, and my husband or I had to go upstairs to soothe them. But just know, if you end up having a very active baby who rolls around and kicks a lot at night, it's fine if they sleep in their pack and play. My next holy grail item are onesie pajamas that zip from the top to the bottom. The reason I like the top to the bottom zipper is for late night diaper changes where you don't want baby to wake up. All you have to do is zip from their little foot just to above their belly button. You can do the quick diaper change. They don't have to get all cold up top. Plus, just the zipper is so much easier and quicker than the little snaps. I would just always be a button or two off, and I'd have to undo all of them, and my baby's bored and frustrated and kicking, and I just didn't really like the buttons. Plus, I maybe pinched a baby or two in my day with the buttons. Again, I'm not very coordinated. A few times of that happening and I was just done with the buttons. Donate them all. The zippers worked better for me. I liked the Cat and Jack brand jammies the most, but there's also some good options on Amazon, which I will have linked below, along with everything on this list. My next Holy Grail item are wearable blankets. My kids didn't really like being swaddled that much. Trust me, I tried 1,000,001 different ways. It just wasn't their thing, but they still needed some extra warmth for naps and nighttime, and so wearable blankets is what we did. You don't want to have loose blankets in your baby's crib because those are SIDS risks. So wearable blankets are safe for sleeping. It keeps your baby warm at night, so hopefully they don't wake up as often. The wearable blankets are useful all the way to the toddler stage as well. My 18-month-old wears a wearable blanket every single night. He loves it. It keeps him nice and cozy. Plus, it makes it just a little bit harder for your toddler to crawl out of their cribs because they can't split their legs open and reach that one leg over the top of the crib to get out. It kind of acts as a mini straitjacket, preventing them from getting too active in the evening time. My next Holy Grail item was super useful for me when I had my twins and they finally got mobile, and then was useful with my third baby before he was mobile to kind of keep him protected from my twins, and that is the North State Super Yard. Depending on your family dynamics, you can use this for many different things. For my twins, who were my firstborn, I actually bought 2 of these and made a super duper play yard for them. Basically, our entire living room was closed off with the super yard. We had foam pads for them. All their toys went in there. And basically, that was our baby area, baby jail, whatever you want to call it. That was where all of our baby stuff was contained, so the rest of our house could be clutter-free. I needed a safe place for them to be contained with all their toys where they couldn't get hurt, so that when my husband was away at work, I could get my pumping done, I could wash the bottles, I could just go to the bathroom and know that they wouldn't get hurt. And I think it goes without saying, I didn't have them in there all day, every day. It was literally just when I was busy doing other things and I couldn't have my eyes on them and I wanted them to be safe. As soon as my hands were free, I was with them out and about doing other things. And for my third born, I actually used one of the super yards as my baby safe zone. So my twins were obviously older than my youngest, and they had all kinds of toys that were not appropriate for baby. They would have snacks that are not appropriate for a newborn baby to eat, and newborns put everything in their mouth that they find on the floor. So basically, the super yard was set up in our play area upstairs as the baby safe zone. If I had to change one of my twins' diapers or do anything that I couldn't have hands or eyes on the baby at all times, he would go into the baby safe zone so that I know he's not picking up and eating rogue crackers or chewing on crayons or doing things that a newborn baby shouldn't be doing while I was busy taking care of the other kids. And not to mention that 2-year-olds are just not great with newborns, so it kind of shielded him from the twins as well. My next Holy Grail item is my City Select double stroller. But you can get this even if you're pregnant with just one baby right now. If you know that you want more than one kid and you want your kids close in age, you can buy the City Select double stroller as a single stroller off the get-go, and then when you're pregnant with your second child, you can buy the second seat to make it a double. So it's a stroller that your family can grow into. It folds up super nice and compact. It has nice big wheels so it can get through all kinds of terrain, which is really important depending on where you live. It is not a cheap stroller, but overall, I am a big proponent of spending good money on a good stroller to make your life easier. You can always buy stuff used on the Facebook market and then sell it once you're done. So overall, it really isn't that much money when you think of how much you save on buying it used and then also selling it afterwards. I loved this item so much that I actually did an entire unsponsored review on it. I'll have linked below. My next Holy Grail item is a bouncer. Just trust me, you need it. Your baby will love it, and thus you will love it. It will give you some freedom to do other things while your baby is bouncing away, having the time of their life. Like we were talking about with the super yard, having them contained in a safe place so you can just go to the bathroom or do something else for 2 seconds, a bouncer accomplishes the same thing. My next Holy Grail item is actually something that I lived without through 3 newborn stages, but now that I have one, I really regret that, and that is a robotic vacuum. Now, I realize that this is not a baby item, but when you have a baby, you will be the busiest you've ever been. You will be strapped for time, and having a robot do the light vacuuming for you is super helpful. Looking back, I wish more than ever that I had gotten a robotic vacuum from day one, because I would always just pull out my huge vacuum and vacuum the whole house every single day, especially when I had 2-year-old twins and a newborn baby, because the twins would just litter the floor with all kinds of booby traps for newborns. A robotic vacuum, in my opinion now, is a must-have. If you don't already have a robotic vacuum, you can survive without it, but trust me, as someone who literally just barely survived without one, it would have been super helpful. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my entire Prepping for Baby playlist that I will have linked in the description below or floating over my face at this point. Also, be sure to visit me on Instagram, just at MyZimmy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!